Ramesh from Electronics Era magazine, and we have the latest happenings and other things on automotive development in India and about ASDC. So, my first question is explain in brief about ASDC and its objectives.
Okay. Thank you. So, ASDC is one of the 36 sector skill councils operating in India. These are sectoral councils which have been set up by various industry associations. For us, the three national industry associations, SIAM, the Vehicle Manufacturers Association, ACMA, the Component Manufacturers Association, and FADA, which is the Dealers Association, they are our promoters, and we are supported by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Our line ministries include Ministry of Heavy Industries, because automobiles comes under Ministry of Heavy Industries, as well as Ministry of Road Transportation and Highways. So we have six critical stakeholders. We operate in under the umbrella of National Skill Development Corporation, which we've been operating since the formation of this council in 2011, and we are also a affiliated awarding body with the regulator today in skill education, which is National Council of Vocational Education and Training, which is NCVET. So we work as an awarding body under that regulator. As far as our objectives are concerned, primarily we are looking at how do we make effective value addition into skills training, which can lead to further capital creation in the industry, which can lead to greater economic activity because people will reinvest that capital, and that eventually is also going to significantly add to job creation. We also work very closely with the industry to ensure that we provide a standardized training curriculum for candidates, and also a standardized rigorous process of assessment and certification of the candidates. And finally, we are also looking at celebrating and honoring skills, and looking at inclusion of skills in the academic pathway, which is now enshrined in the National Education Policy NEP 2020. So overall, our focus is on ensuring creating a national platform for skill development in the automobile sector.
Okay, so what are the positive and that you observe in the past 10 decade, past 10
Positive?
year, positive in past 10 years in skill development?
Okay. Positive developments in
Yeah,
skill development.
positive and challenge, something about
Challenges
challenges
also.
that you observe.
Okay. So I think, as a country, our initiatives in skill training and skill development has been from a perspective of, working with the industrial training institutes, ITIs, which were set up immediately post independence. And there is a very strong legacy that the ITI institutions have created in this country, but largely have been limited to interventions on the engineering sector. So, since we fall as part of the engineering sector, ITIs have continued to play a very, very significant role in providing skilled and trained manpower. But last 10 years, I think, have been a very, very important period in the entire skill education, vocational skill education history in India, because we've put this under a mission mode, under the Skill India mission, and there are multiple institutions, multiple agencies, multiple bodies who have got engaged under a common banner called Skill India Mission, under the guidance of our Honorable Prime Minister. And therefore, I think this has created a significant movement. However, these are very early years of us maturing into a very robust skill ecosystem, because there have been some gaps in the past and we need to correct that, and at the same time we need to keep up with the various technological and other changes that are happening in the environment. And therefore there is always this challenge that how do we keep catching up with the gaps that we have already identified. At the same time, also new gaps are getting created because there are new changes that are happening in the ecosystem. So it is, and overall, India is a very large country with a very large population, very large young population, and therefore the skilling challenge is not a simple challenge at all. It's a very complex challenge. In our automobile industry, we see that there is a lot of skilling initiatives that are done uh, at various levels, at the vehicle manufacturers level, at the component manufacturers level, at the dealership level. But I think there is scope to scale that up further, and there is immense opportunity to create new avenues of livelihood. And as you would know, that our industry is a very, very globally competitive industry. All the global brands are here. So there is no compromise that will ever be done by these manufacturers on the quality of manpower that they engage with. And therefore, today, one of their big challenges is that they are not getting ready to employ manpower. So the employability skills of graduates coming out of either graduation programs or polytechnic programs or ITI programs, the industry still finds a lot of gap in terms of their skill levels and what they require at the industry. And this is where an organization like ASDC fits in, where we try to understand that gap from the industry side and provide a very contemporary curriculum and train the trainers, create content, uh, create assessment structures, certify candidates, and this, as it stabilizes, I think can go a long way in creating a very globally competitive industry environment in India, especially for the automobile sector.
What are the initiatives that ASDC is taking about for the contemporary curriculum and other thing, and to skill the people, students for to compete with the global competition?
Yeah. So, our building blocks are the national occupation standards, which lead to creation of various qualification and curriculum, which are approved formally through the National Skill Qualifications Committee under the National Council of Vocational Education and Training, which is NCVT. Uh, we have overhauled our, thanks to COVID, actually, we've got a little bit of a respite from our daily operations, and it has also helped us to redo all our curriculum in one go between 2020 and 2022. And all our curriculums have gone through various layers of scrutiny, upgradation, and updations. And we've been very fortunate to involve more than 300 industry experts on various domain areas to look at these and give their approvals. And each qualification also is kind of validated and approved by the various industry members. Therefore, these are curriculum which have been completely revised. Additionally, we've identified new areas of work like electric vehicles, Industry 4.0, and also other areas of sustainability, safety, diagnostics, which are areas where we are working not only at a very entry level curriculum, but also looking at how do we provide curriculum for upskilling and reskilling of existing workforce in the industry. So these are some of the areas that we've been covering in terms of making our curriculum more contemporary, more relevant, and this process will go on because technology is constantly being changed. Yeah.
And sir, there is green reality at the bottom of Indian auto manufacturing capabilities, the dilapidated condition and their overall safety. How can we overcome these challenges?
The safety side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So safety, I think, is is a very important element in the entire automotive industry. And if I look at two large areas of safety, one is the industrial safety, which means safety at the production centers, when you are manufacturing goods for the industry. You're making cars, you're making parts of cars, etc., or you are, servicing cars. There is safety that is required in terms of candidates. It is even more relevance in today's context because we are seeing electrification of vehicles. We are talking about high voltage components there, and there is a significant increased risk of fatalities if the right safety measures are not formed. So all our curriculum focuses very heavily on safety requirements for that particular job to be carried out. Second, I think another area where we are very glued on, and we are trying to do our bit, though it's a very, again, in itself is a very large and complex problem, which is the element of road safety. Road safety has elements of education and prevention on one side, and also, secondly, should there be a road accident, how do you reduce fatality resulting out of that road accident? On both counts, I think we are trying to do. We've launched some awareness programs at college levels, because that's where the youngsters actually need to be told about the road safety elements. And also, we are looking at first responder training. Recently, we completed, in fact, last year, a large scale program. In fact, it's been going on throughout this year as well, in terms of training of first responders along various highways in Orissa for road safety, as road safety warriors, or Rakshaks as they call it in Orissa under the Project Raksha. This has been done in partnership with State Transport Authority Orissa, and also GIZ, the German Federation, and Red Cross Orissa. So we've had a multi-stakeholder collaboration effort that we put in here. So there are these initiatives. So safety is definitely very high on our agenda.
Okay, thank you. And one more question is that, sir, what are you, according to you, what are the techno trends for 2023 which you are looking?
Technological trends. So,
Yeah, for in automotive sector.
Yeah. So I think automotive today, as you would rightly know, that it has become like a mobile computer. So you have a huge amount of electronics in each car, or each vehicle actually. Not only car, it's two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, and commercial vehicles. All of them have significantly higher amount of electronics in it, and you recently would have known that due to the semiconductor shortage there were supply issues, etc.
Yeah.
I think that's easing off with greater supply that is coming into the market, but we will see more and more usage of electronics. Also, there is a lot of work being done on software areas within cars. So as computing speed, communication speeds, introduction of 5G, and all of that happens, I think today connected car is already a reality, and there could be many more innovations coming around that. So there are manufacturers in this country itself who know each and every car they have sold or vehicle they have sold, where are they at this point in time, what's their condition, would they need a service in the next 24 hours, are there some troubling indicators which must be investigated further, and these are all known from a control room sitting remotely somewhere. uh, this also enables transporters. Today logistics is a very, very fast growth sector in India, and vehicles, road transportation is a very large backbone of that system.
Yeah.
And there also this use of technology is now being helping both drivers as well as fleet owners and fleet coordinators in terms of how they can control the movement of the goods. They are in control. If there are any emergencies, how can they respond to it, etc. So we see, and of course, electrification, adoption of electric vehicles is on the rise. So there are associated challenges and associated advantages of that. We do hope to see involvement of hydrogen fuel, involvement of maybe solar technologies in the years to come. It may not happen in 2023, but
Near future we can
these
expect.
are initiatives. A lot of research is going on in these areas. We do hope to see some breakthrough results coming in sooner than later, and hopefully those can then be commercialized and can be applied to providing mobility solutions, into this. So we do see a very exciting path forward for youngsters who want to come into the automobile sector. They must get themselves very rightly skilled, so that they know how to get themselves skilled and continue to get themselves skilled as they do their journey of the future. The next 15-20 years definitely seems very exciting, because a lot of alternate fuel is coming, a lot of climate control issues have to be addressed, and transportation is here to stay. People will
Yeah.
move around, goods will move around. So we do see this being a very, very attractive sector for the youngster in this country, and probably a very global opportunity awaits them, because today Indian skilled manpower is in very high demand across the globe in various fields, including automotive. And therefore, I think that's something which would also be a very significant addition to the next year, that we'll see more and more. So we've so far been seeing only IT engineers going, global. But I think even automobile, we do see a lot of opportunities, and a lot of people are already going. And even blue collar skilled workers are also going much beyond Middle East. They're going to Europe, they're going to US, they're going
Yeah.
to Australia, all over the world, actually.
And my final question is that, sir, कि if a student would like to take admission in ASDC,
Yeah.
how can he approach your institutes and what are the criteria for that?
Yeah. So ASDC is a standards organization. So we only affiliate our training institutions. We have close to about 300 plus training institutions, active training institutions today, on providing training on various areas. We have a very interesting part on our website called Career Guide. So it's called careerguide.asdc.org.in. It's a microsite within our website, where the student can actually go through what are the possibilities of training in the automotive sector. How can that lead to a career progression in that pathway? What could be potential learning opportunities in today's condition? Where are those opportunities in India, in different clusters or geographies, etc. And additionally, if they have any question, any request, they can simply go to our website, get onto the contact us button, put their query, and somebody from the team will start getting in contact with them to get them to pick up the right program for them at the geography that they are in, and under a training center which can provide such training under the banner of ASDC.
Right. One thing is that, sir, if a person is come from a weaker section and he has a funding problem, so what are the ways
So
that he
there are lots of funding. Government itself runs certain funded programs, both at a central government level and at a state government level. So there are some opportunities there. In addition, there are a number of CSR funded programs that we do, where the training is free. And not only training is free, they also provide for sometimes their residential expenses during the training, the
great?
food, stay, etc., etc., or at least their transportation to and from the center, etc. So I think if you have the right intent and right attitude, funding is not going to be a major issue in terms of coming in. Of course, if you are looking at a specific program, sometimes you may have to wait a little bit because a funded program might not be available at that point in time, but I'm sure there will be available. There are also a lot of free e-learning training programs on our website itself, which have been created by various automobile manufacturers like Toyota, Eicher Motors, etc. So people can also get acquainted with automobile technologies through those free programs, just for them to kind of get started. Of course, once they find further interest, they can also come and do a hands-on training program also.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
all
you.
from my side.
Thank you. Thank you.